Well, we're here at the Llandudno Victorian Extravaganza on the rally field. Wolsey WD2, driving a modern alternator, running a couple of lamps and a water pump. Not a bad bit of set, nice steady output there on the lamps. I don't like the modern connector on it though for 12 volt, absolutely not, it's silly. A couple of brass terminals with wig nuts, that's what you need. Nice all the same, lovely and quiet. Very nice AMCO. Peta A1, once one of the cheapest stationary engines. Now of course they're going for a little more money. There's nothing to see on them, just a workhorse really, but the very first engine I started with, to be honest, the Peta A1. That one will be about 1950, 45, 50 maybe. Driving a Lister water pump. Here we have an open crank Gilson, very nice, totally original. Driving a grindstone. An Alma Junior, it's a very small open crank American engine.
That's right, yeah.
Das engine, lovely. John Deere Waterloo boy, very quiet engine. Lovely hit and miss action too. Another nice AMCO in restored condition. According to the log sheet, this one is a 1926. Very nice indeed. That one too has also the fuel tank inside the, well, it's not the crankcase, but inside the lower body of the engine. This is an original Norman T300 generator set. Very quiet and smooth. I think it'll be 110 volt DC. Very nice indeed. So quiet and smooth. Here we have a nice early air-cooled AMCO. Just when you think it's going to stop, it fires again. It's lovely. That's hit and miss at its very best, that. Well, I have to say there's plenty of AMCOs here this year. I've seen so far 3 of them. There's also another one further up that we're going to go and see shortly. This one, according to the log sheet, dates to 1920, driving a water pump. Here we have a Bulldog made by Fairbanks. A lovely hit and miss engine. Fortunately you can't see the mechanism because it's on the other side, but there we are. Here we have a Bamford. Unfortunately, all the hit and miss linkage is on the opposite side, so you can't really see how it all works. It's driving a butter churn through a reduction gearbox, and on the other belt, it's driving a mill. Here we have a Lister B type driving again another butter churn. This one, I don't know what, oh there we are, 1936 Lister B and butter churn, pump and wheel. It's a nice engine. I had the Lister A long time ago and it was like moving a ton weight. Was very heavy and awkward. And driving a water pump again. It's a Lister water pump. In turn is pumping water around the water wheel. Had one of these too, a Fowler 1PAL. The one I had was terrible for leaking oil around the crankcase door. A manufacturing mistake when they made these. They put the bolts for the crankcase door in the middle of the door rather than in the four corners, and as a result, if it was over tightened, the crankcase door used to warp and distort and leak. Mine was full of silicone. This is driving a nice quiet exhibit. Very nice. Another AMCO, one with a straight striker, 1929 vintage. This is the fourth one today. One and a half horsepower McCormick D-ring international harvester engine. Very nice, enclosed crank, but she's not running at the moment, as you can see. This is a very nice Petter M engine. Clearly it's been tank cooled engine with a large tank, but it's sort of got a hopper on the top going to another tank and driving a water pump. Linked to the other side we've also got a lister pump. Very nice exhibit. Well, we've got no idea what this engine is, but the gentleman stood behind it. That'll give you some idea of the size of it. It's much smaller than an RLE. Your guess is as good as mine wherever it is, but the gentleman bought it from eBay. It's about half the size of an RLE, so I've no idea what it is. Clearly it's been built from some castings, but no idea. Might be from the Model Engineers Emporium, we're not sure. Nice though. One for sale here. The price is $1,275 on the Ristoffer. I'll zoom in on the phone number because somebody might be interested in this engine. There we are. It's a John Deere, if anybody's interested. Circa, I would say, about 1937, 1940, in that bracket. Enclosed crank, 1,275. We've got the number. If you're in the UK, if you're interested, give the gentleman a ring. Here we have a really big lister, and on the base of the water tank it said 1929, so presumably that is the year of the engine. It looks like it's had some frost damage at some stage around the hopper, but running later, who knows. Everywhere you look at this rally there seems to be an AMCO. This is the 5th or the 6th one now where I've videoed. Again, driving a water pump. Get sick of seeing water pumps and you get sick of seeing AMCOs. This one's got the other striker, and of course this one's another air cooled one. view from a different angle. So I got the original magneto as well. Very nice. This is a Fairbanks Bolton engine. With a much different trip mechanism on the igniter. Very nice, and it's different. Driving again a water pump, a Lister water pump. I think this one originally would have had an electric motor on the top where the wood is, but that's a lovely engine. Today I'm fed up of looking at water pumps and a AMCO engine. Another one. These today seem to be as common as most. Much as I like them original, I would give this a good paint job. Bamford hit and miss. Again driving a water pump. Here we have an absolutely gorgeous Ruston. That is so quiet. An engine of quality. Beautiful. Smooth as silk. Runs like a sewing machine. Now here's something what I need. Do you have tight nuts or a rusty tool? Then use WD-40 in the man-size pressure pack. Makes old tools like new. Tools slide in and out with ease. Lubricates dry passageways. Makes screwing a pleasure. Gives better penetration. WD-40, it's good stuff. Here we have another Norman T300 engine. Originally would have driven a generator or a dynamo. Lovely smooth little engines, I love them. And this one again is driving a water pump. No surprises there. Very nice. Just while we're here, the stationary engines, we'll just let you have a quick look at some of the vintage trucks that's along here. As far as you can see, about 4 rows of them. Some absolutely incredible trucks here. Back to the engines. Here we have the very original Fairbanks Ball Z 6 horsepower. Driving a really unusual display here. Little gymnasium at the top. I think that's great, that. And different too. Little Jap engine there as well. But at the moment it's driven by the Fairbanks. Lister D with an alternator. Totally original. Here we have a lovely little Tom Senior driving a dynamo, working them lamps. That's really nice, running on propane. Nice little knife switch there. Lovely. Here we have a Heinrich hot air engine or Stirling engine, dating from, according to the log sheet, 1910. Driving a water pump, which in turn is running the fountain. That's really nice. Here we have an old Fuller and Johnson open crank engine with solid flywheels, driving a saw sharpener, sharpening the teeth on that bandsaw. This is a huge Bamford open crank. Got the original toolbox there as well. Very nice indeed. This one's driving what looks like a Lion water pump. Oh, I was right. Lion water pump, yeah. Very nice. See you later. Cheers. Here we have an Eaton engine by Nelson Brothers. Very nice indeed. Totally original. Very nice. This is one I'm unfamiliar with. Motorini Condor Gaggetti Milano, driving a GEC dynamo. Very nice. Here we have a 1912 International Howitzer Tom Thumb, 1.5 horsepower. With an unusual drive, power takeoff on the back. Here we have a very, very original round wall hit and miss engine. Can't be many of these about. Absolute beauty. Completely original. Even down to the trolley it's on. Oh, there's some details here. 1917, 4 horsepower. Owned by Mr. Rob Cook. Beautiful engine. Another rarish engine, 1.5 horsepower, 1919. made by Nelson Brothers. Nice flick mag on it. Looks like original paint as well. I've had one of these. If you don't have steering on your trolley, they are backbreakers. Ruston Hornsby. They are absolute backbreakers. They weigh a ton. Driving a hacksaw. Here we have a Lister diesel driving a counter shaft, which in turn is driving that large bandsaw. Nice exhibit. Hardtop open crank. Frank Hardtop and Sons, we all know the firm. Quite a rare engine these days. Flyball governor. Very nice. You can see it's a gas engine. And a lovely manageable exhibit. Really cool. That's absolutely beautiful. My wife said, "What are you doing today?" I said, "Nothing." She said, "I did that yesterday." I said, "I wasn't finished." Watch that little chap there. You're right in line, Linda. You're right in line. Here we have a Bentall. Lovely engine. My favourite is the Pioneer, with all the oil lines, things going to it. That's really nice. This is to absolutely die for. 1904 Whitehead. Vertical open crank. Gas engine. Can't even hear the thing run. That is absolutely superb. The only one I've ever seen.
Sale. No, I don't blame you. Not for sale.
Apparently this is probably the only one in the UK. And it was offered £20,000 for this, and it was refused. What a really beautiful engine.
It's the oddity of it, open crank, vertical, that's the, you know.
Yeah, that's the originality of it, isn't it?
Mr. D on the trailer, driving a water pump and also a pillar drill. Official member of the Grumpy Old Git Club. That should belong to me. Yeah. Here's a big fella running a dynamo. big Lister CS diesel, Showman style, on a trailer with lamps around the canopy. Actually hear the hum from the dynamo. It's actually driving two dynamos, unless the little alternator is an exciter for the big dynamo. I'm not sure how it's wired up. One is producing current, the other one isn't, according to the voltmeters and ammeters. Yeah, very nice. Wartime Jap charging set. That's very nice. Well, here's a proper novelty. A Lister D with a seat on the top in a disability scooter. It's yeah, it's driving an alternator, which in turn is running them pumps. That's a real novelty, that. Oh dear. Another huge one here. 3-cylinder Lister driving a massive dynamo. That will weigh something, that. Here we have a large Lister petrol driving a water pump for the cooling, and also driving a dynamo of some description, which in turn we follow the cable going along here to this lamp, throwing out far too much voltage there. Should be 210, 220 volt, 230 in the very max. So either wants the gearing sorting out on there, or slowing down a bit. Here we have another huge Lister engine, a twin-cylinder diesel, again driving a dynamo, a very big dynamo as well. That's a very big engine. Yeah.
Your bench crank.
Oh. Just two engines left. This is the last of them. Petter acorn top and a big 4-cylinder engine there. Again, a Lister diesel. Well, that's it, the Llandudno Victorian Extravaganza for the stationary engines, and we'll catch you later. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel, and don't forget our Facebook stationary engine group for model stationary engines, petrol, gas, stationary engines, UK.